Welcome to our Hunkydory Christmas week of Webisodes. We have a full week of good things for you beginning today.
With some very intricate laser cut die cut shapes, just gorgeous. And we also have Miri die cuts that are that nice shine but in shape. So those are going to be great.
And they were specially done for us. You won't find them anywhere else. Come play with us. Well, just like Gail said, these are the laser cut pieces.
Right.
There are 9 kits.
Very intricate.
Yes.
I just love. We're going to have to. Are we going to look at them individually?
Yeah, we'll
now?
look at them in a second. So, but here's the whole scope.
All Christmas and wintry in theme.
Very pretty. Each piece is 6 inches by 6 inches, but there's a ton of stuff on each one.
Right.
And you talked about the Miri sheets. So just to let you see, we have a set in silver and white in circles, squares,
and ovals. And then we have a set in gold and white.
Right.
In those same shapes. These are great for matting, mixing, matching those shapes.
And
you get 140 in each set.
Right.
140 in this one.
140 here.
Okay.
So we're going to scoot that aside and
we're going to
keep them in order.
Yep, keep them in order. We're going to start looking at these one at a time. Why don't you bring in a project?
Okay, so here's the first project.
Okay.
And isn't that gorgeous? We'll get an even closer to this area. You can see that it's on a gold circle, but look at all of that
now,
seam.
What is neat about this? Let me bring in the die cut sheet.
Here's what the whole thing looks like.
Right, there you go. This is what it looks like. That green is in the background. It's actually cut through. So when I pull it out, you can see right through it like this. Right. And these are so intricate. Just look at the detail on there. I mean, you can see my fingers and how small some of these pieces are. That's because it's laser cut. And it's not as thin as paper. It's a little bit stiffer than that. It's like a lightweight cardstock. But I want to show you something interesting. When you turn it over, you can see a little bit of brown. That's because it's sort of the burn areas from the laser cutting. And this is what Lene has done on this card.
So she has turned them over. In most cases, she has turned them over so you kind of get that matted edge a little bit. And that's a nice thing to know that you can do that with any of them, probably except for the words.
Right.
And speaking of the words, the Peace, Love, and Joy is on another set of that we're showing you today.
Right.
Now,
I'll find that one for you.
The great big gold circle, that's off of the Miri sheets. A nice way to pair them.
And here are the words. So you're getting lots and lots of Christmas, peace, joy, and love, Merry Christmas, believe, ho, 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 hugs and kisses. So
you'll see those used later too.
All in these great shapes. So quite a few on each sheet of these.
Now the gold.
That one has 21 pieces. That one just tells me on the back.
There you go. This gold paper is off of our Color Me paper, and you can see the gold is actually embossed. It's actually raised, but it makes a beautiful background.
I love that. And you don't actually have to change the color of it. Use it just the way it is.
And then we use the gold metallic sheet, which is just an ever popular one around here.
So I'd like to show you how quick it is to just pop these out. So each one of these are connected with little bridges, and if we get in close, you can see these tiny little bridges, the little pieces of the paper that connect them. I've got my scissors, and all I have to do is start trimming them out. Now, one way to do this is with scissors, just like you're seeing. Super easy to just snip them off, just so don't cut his little arm off, but just go all the way around, and that releases them. I'm not going to do the whole thing for you, but you see it's just super easy to snip off. And also, this one has borders, so you just cut them along the edge, which is what I did with the trees that Lene used in the background. So you're seeing that.
Okay. You want me to bring this back in?
Oh, just for a second. You're also seeing the Miri sheet. So this is taken from that gold set. So you've got from the Miri sheet die cuts, you've got 2 each of each sheet that you see. You've got 2 of the gold die cuts, you've got 2 of the white die cuts, and we're also seeing ovals and squares. And so for this one, she popped out one of the white die cuts, as you can see, and then she popped out just a little bit smaller or a little bit larger one of the gold, which you just sort of mix and match, and there it is.
Right.
So there's the gold one. You pop that out, and that's just, it mats perfectly.
So that creates that mat. and a little bit of gold along the bottom. And these are the white jewel dazzles. So that it also just kind of plays nicely. And then on the inside, we have a strip of the Color Me paper with, again, one of the words and then one of the square Mary sheets in gold.
Which is a great idea. I just want to point out real quickly, on the front of that, Lene did create some snow in the background. And the way she did that was just to take cardstock and just tear the one edge off like so, in whatever fashion. Once you've got a nice edge torn, then you can just glue that in place, and then take another one, do the same thing, glue it down below.
Perfect.
And after it's glued, I would turn it over and just cut along that line, and then you've got that perfect snow scene.
It works beautifully. So one last look at this. Of course, this will be in the gallery, and you can see it there, but just a really, really fun look. Now, if you wanted to, you could leave them all white and not have the darker edge, so whichever you wish. Okay, moving on to our second card. Now we're going into the silver collection, but this time we're using the two pieces. Well, actually just this one, because we've got the We Wish You a Merry Christmas as well as a Christmas tree.
And there are 18 pieces in this set. I love the different shapes and all different styles of Christmas trees. Plus, you're getting little gifts there, and you do get a big We Wish It, and just another tree shape.
Another tree shape,
but it's a nice greeting.
Now, here is another example of doing the shape. So the white square as well as the silver square. Very fun to add the laser, as you can see. And a little bit of stickles, this is the red, has been used to kind of highlight the areas, as you can see.
Isn't that nice? Also, this little present was backed with paper. That way you don't have to see through to the elements behind it, so that's really simple to do.
So it's nice that the white, of course, is going to go with the gold and the silver. We'll back up just a little bit. Oh, and that one that was backed is foam taped up. Everything else is flat.
Right.
So we've got the silver border jewel dazzles. So that just works really nicely, a bow. And then on the inside, more layering. Taking a square and turning it on point.
Yeah, I like that idea. It makes it a little bit different, and you've got another one of those backed presents, but the stickles just really helps with that. Just pops it
down at the bottom and at the top, so really sweet. You've got plenty of room to write a message.
So far, we're using these laser cut die cuts just white. We haven't done anything to alter them.
Until now.
Until now.
So now we come into the poinsettia pack, and here's what that whole package looks like. So you can see we've got the poinsettias, we've got leaves, we also have some pine cones.
And there are 28 pieces on this set, and I've got one of them right here, and I'm starting to cut one of them out, and I thought I had it all cut out ready to go, but here we go. You can do this even with, if you set this flat on a cutting mat, you can use an X-Acto knife or a retractable pen knife to get these out pretty quickly as well. So just a few little snips. If I'm cutting them a little long, I'm just trying to do it kind of quickly, so I can always go back and cut those little attachments off later to make it more perfect. But Spectrum Noir pen, because real easy to change the color of these. Now you can ink them, or you can just take a nice Spectrum Noir pen and do this. And how quick is that?
Very quick.
Yes, in any color you like. I'm using a craft mat here.
Even though they're very intricately cut, you're not having any trouble. Nothing's catching
not at all.
Anything.
That was really simple. But I will say that something else that you can do, because some of these you can actually lift up the little petals like that, and you get a little bit more dimension on there. I like that idea too.
Right, nice. So coming back to the finished one, so also doing that on green with for the leaves.
And I love the little cluster of jewel dazzles right in the center.
Yeah, and again, we've got the white piece as well as the gold, and have the gold jewel to match. Also the gold border to match on the top and the bottom. And then we did add tiny words and phrases. So these are obviously the Christmas ones.
Right.
And that just finishes that. This is a 5-inch square card. You can see the inking around the edge. And on the inside, just a little flourish right down there. You know, if you want to make stationery for friends, sometimes that's a nice, it reminds me that you could add these just to a paper or little note
a little
cards.
gift tag even.
Very
They're small enough that they're going to be easy to decorate smaller items, but you add a few of them and then that's great for a larger card.
Right. Now we're going to create another scene and look at this.
Isn't that fun?
This is the,
that's from Riding Through the Snow, and I don't have a count on how many, but boy, there are quite a bit on this one. Lots of different, a variety of reindeer.
Reindeer, like they have sweaters on.
Yeah, isn't that nice? And you definitely have Santa in his sleigh, and then you have a few of the jumping reindeer or flying reindeer. And so this is a great set to use. There's combined with actually the borders, which you're seeing some on the top. So
That's the one at the bottom.
At the bottom. There we go. Combined with borders, quite a few borders on here. There's a snow piece at the bottom that has an edging on it, and then Santa and his reindeer. And well, it's just a gorgeous look on this one.
So again, there is the silver becoming the moon. Isn't that fun?
Right.
And each of these has been lifted up with foam tape and a little bit of inking on the hooves.
Right. So go ahead, just a little bit around the edges of this one, we're added a little bit of ink so you can just sort of see it in front of those papers. And then down at the bottom, the houses at the bottom were actually inked fully.
Right.
And that was actually from one of the other sets that we looked at. This
right.
one with the, and it has different sizes of those houses so you can decide how far away they are. And you can just ink that either directly with the ink pad, or you can use, for a little bit more control, use a cosmetic wedge, get some of the ink and just go like that before you put it on your papers.
And again, inking some of the cardstock, tearing that so that you see the torn edge. Just really, you know,
fun?
For as beautiful and elaborate looking as this is, I think it's pretty easy to do.
It is
because
easy.
You're just,
but also with the background papers, these are taken from the Perfect Background stamping pad that was also supplied by Hunkydory. It's the Brights, and we
and
have
we'll
it here.
see that on another day, but
So
just
we'll
to
look
give
at
you a
it
look,
closely
looks like that.
another day. It has lots of different colors, but it also has some textures and different looks. So really simply, that's what was used in the background.
And the inside wasn't finished, so but this is just beautifully done. And you can see that some silver thread was used to
and you can certainly use just white thread as well.
Right.
But if you have it handy,
embroidery
floss.
look. Scrapbookers, this is for you too. So here we have a nice page that's just ready on a snowy look, but we do get the benefit of the snowflakes.
The snowflakes, and I believe, I'm looking again, there are 16 pieces in this set. Beautiful, large and small, and look at that intricate detail. And again, mostly white, but on the scrapbook page, what we're seeing is that stickles was added. So this is the, the Wink of Stella. So this is the clear Wink of Stella. It doesn't change the white look, but if you roll that a little bit, we should be able to see some of that there, the shimmer on those snowflakes. Really sweet and super easy to do. There's a brush on that Wink of Stella.
And the buttons are coming from, these are from Buttons Galore, and this is obviously a Christmas pack. But what is special about this is also that you get other things. So you can see the seed beads in there. We've got these sparkles. There you go.
The little sequins. So it's a nice little assortment there. I think even those little pearls on there as well.
So it just creates a really nice little embellishment pack. And
I like the silver fireworks holographics paper on there.
You mean the red one?
The red. The red fireworks. And it's just a nice little edging. It's funny how when we, the first time we saw the fireworks, we go, what are we going to do? We're only going to use it at 4th of July. But we don't. We use it for everything.
Well, and the thing that I want to point out that right now, okay, that might be, you know, it's definitely fireworks. And you might be thinking, okay, 4th of July. But look what it does when you have a bit of it. You just get that edging. And you just get a very pretty look. Also up here,
the little banner piece.
On that little flag, So beautiful. Really, really nice. So that's, again, we've got some tearing going on. So works beautifully. And our last card is this one, and wow, we're going to mix our gold and our silver. We're going to do some inking, and we've got the ornament set.
And there are lots of styles of ornaments. I love all of the different shapes. These are going to be super easy for you to cut out.
Would you hand me the one that's got the messages, because the 'Tis the Season is in there. And look, that has been made black. So wow, that's very pretty.
Isn't that neat?
And the Merry Christmas.
And the message up at the top, the greeting, you want to go ahead and ink that black. You can use that directly with your Stays on Ink pad or another black ink pad. And then back it in paper so that you can, because if you're going to have it up above something, you want to be able to see the words really well. I don't want them to sit up. But the ornaments that you're looking at were embossed.
And they were. Oh, I can see.
Okay, glitter.
I want to make sure that you can see the sparkle. There we go.
With glitter embossing powder.
Wow.
So we've just got the, let's see, I already cut one out here.
How gorgeous that is. And it's also been done on the Merry Christmas.
Right.
So, okay.
Right. So that's really easy to do. And I've got one of the ornaments, and all you need is a Versamark pad. And I'm just going to ink it up like this. Doesn't take long at all. And then I'm going to sprinkle the glitter embossing powder. I've got the Wow Red Glitz and glitter embossing powder. I'm going to place something here so that we don't get it all over what we're doing. And all you have to do is, just like any other embossing piece that you're going to do, you've done your Versamark, it's only on the ornament, so just sprinkle that glitter embossing powder on it, shake it off a little bit, and it's ready to heat set. And once you've heat set that with your heat gun, then you have a finished piece.
That's what it looks like, and just gorgeous. Now, this one has been backed on the paper.
Right.
These, of course, are directly on the paper, but a little bit of inking on the edges.
Right, just to give it a little bit of a shadow.
It does.
That paper is also from that Perfect Stamping Pad.
You want to show
and I wanted
it?
to show you that the elements that you get in there is, yes, it's gradiated. This one is kind of an ombre. There are lots of different patterns, and on the back, each one is a solid color.
Okay.
So that's really cool. And some of these you can back with paper like that one, so you can use it for both purposes.
And just want to point out that that inking on the edge of the silver and then the larger gold is just a stunning, stunning look. So
really simple. So that was a silver from one set and gold from the other set. Put them together. But
so just a stunning. So I think that we have justified.
We have
the all 9 of the
gorgeous, stylish silhouettes, laser cut die cuts. And the new Miri sheet die cuts made just for us by
made just for us,
Hunkydory.
yes.
Yay.
And we thank
And
you.
for you.
And we thank you, Hunkydory. And this is the beginning of a very fun-filled creative week. We hope you'll join us tomorrow.
See you then.